Let's get to it. The general election is still over a year away, but a new survey may bode well for Republicans. A new Quinnipiac poll finds that Dr. Ben Carson leading Hillary Clinton 50% to 40% in a face-off. Also stunning is this. Clinton's traditional lead among women has all but evaporated, with female voters picking the retired neurosurgeon over Hillary 45 to 44%. In the meantime, when it comes to the Republican primary race, Dr. Carson is once again giving it to Donald Trump, and he's given him a run for his money. Trump leads just 24 to 23% nationally, well within the margin of error, and just 6 days out from the next GOP debate. So, Dr. Siegel, what is it about Dr. Ben Carson that America loves? Is it the fact that he's a doctor? What is it?
I'm about to find out. Tomorrow I am interviewing Dr. Carson down in Miami, and I'm going to see if he passes the look you in the eye test, which so many candidates do not pass. Now, he's written a book, A More Perfect Union now, Andrea, where he's basically saying that everyone should be able to run for office, not just lawyers, not just career politicians, not just bureaucrats. How about a physician? When 4 physicians signed the Declaration of Independence, why not a doctor? Maybe his measured speech that's come into criticism is really a way of telling people you can believe what he's saying.
Yeah. I'm
about to find out. I'll tell you one thing. Hillary Clinton, well, look, she's not winning among young women now. Maybe she can't even pass the. I may not. Is it okay to, if you're just short of indictment? That's a qualification for running for president. I know if they don't indict Hillary, she could be president, right?
Yeah. You know, Harris, when we used to do polling on Capitol Hill, when we would pass certain legislation that had to do with health care, we would poll to see which demographic Americans trust the most. Right? Number 1 was their doctor. Yeah. Number 1. Congressmen may be number 3, but they trusted
women
their doctor. That's
in
right.
That polling, because I remember reading some of those polls years and years ago. Particularly women, it was very important. Go ahead.
Can I pivot away from this just a second? It's not that I don't think the fact that he's a doctor resonates with him, but I actually did a whole show on this last night, and a lot of people are really responding to the fact that he's a man of faith, and he says it openly. Yes. He talks about praying before he does surgery, and I think that's really resonating with people.
It's resonating with women, by the way. I mean, this recent polling, Clinton's traditional lead among women evaporates among American voters. They picking Carson over her. Women 45% to Carson 44% for Clinton. Men, obviously, the ratio even bigger. But it's amazing. He's reaching out to women, and a lot of it, Andrea, I think, is his spiritual outreach is so appealing to so many Americans looking for that right
Just
now.
a quick point on that, by the way, is that I think spiritual healing is an issue. I think that I'm going to ask him about that. Having been inside someone's brain, having saved lives, having tried, failed. How much did that fuel your sense of your spiritual side?
And understanding that there's a higher power, that although he was a great neurosurgeon, there's still someone else in control. I also think his demeanor, he's sort of the anti-Trump. He's someone that even when I watch his interviews, I feel a very sense of calm in the tumultuous times we live in.
The anti-Trump, okay, so you're talking about the GOP ticket, which, by the way, when you looked at these candidates, all of them, months ago on a national level, it has been Dr. Ben Carson all along. I mean, state to state, Donald Trump has just walked away with it like, you know, leaving the house with the dog. I mean, he's just running away with it. But with Ben Carson, it hasn't been that way. Now you're talking about outside of the realm of the GOP and going head-to-head with what looks to be, because she's up to 62% in some polling, Hillary Clinton, above her competitors, what looks to be perhaps the next nominee for the Democratic Party.
But when you talk about what's resonating with the American people and the American voter right now who's so fed up with their government, Andrea, I kind of want to turn this around to you. How much of this is Dr. Carson's willingness to show when he doesn't know something or when he gets something wrong? How many times have you seen him in these recent interviews say, I don't know, but I'll look into that? And he does then come back after he has studied the issue with a response and has formed an opinion on that. You don't see that a lot in Washington.
You saw it with Medicare.
Yeah, well, I think it's a really good observation, Sandra, and it's not just Dr. Ben Carson. The left and many in the mainstream media seem to be attacking these candidates on things that humanize them. So look at Marco Rubio. We're talking about his 2006 American Express bill. People better watch out. A lot of people have credit card debt, especially after the mortgage meltdown. He can genuinely, Sandra, feel their pain. Dr. Ben Carson, he says, I don't know, I'll get back to you. And when you look at that stage, Dr. Siegel, the Democrats, with their law degrees, the faces of white privilege, no diversity. You look at the Republican stage, diverse, you've got doctors. When they try and go after Ben Carson for being, say, ignorant on an issue, it's tough because he is a brain surgeon. surgeon. I mean, he's one of the smartest men in the country.
And
it backfires every time.
Andrea, you know, I think Sandra's point is really well taken here, which is, you know, that's how medical diagnosis works. You don't have it instantly. You go back and you look it up. You think about it.
To get it right instead of get it wrong, like so many in D.C. do.
I think he's just authentic. I think that's what people are craving right now. And everything about him, I believe what Dr. Ben Carson is saying.
And I think you can say that about all the outsiders, which is why they take up almost 50% of the poll just between the two of them, Donald Trump, and if you add in Carly Fiorina, better than that.